Professor Dr. Kurian Kachappilly, the President of DVK, Professor Dr. George Ideadiel, the Rector of Dharmaram College, Deans and Directors of the Faculties and Institutes of DVK, Rectors, Campus Superiors, Professors, and the students of DVK. Welcome back to Dharmaram Vidyakshetram, the abode of wisdom and the temple of knowledge. Dharmaram Vidyakshetram is a pontifical athenaeum of philosophy, theology, canon law, and formative spirituality and counseling, engaged in imparting ecclesiastical education, and is empowered to confer degrees and diplomas in philosophy, theology, canon law, and formative spirituality and counseling to eligible candidates. Even in the midst of pandemic COVID-19, I consider it as a great privilege to welcome all of you to the inauguration of the new academic year 2020-21. I'm very happy to welcome Professor Dr. Kurian Kachappilly, the President of DVK, to this inaugural session. I also cordially welcome Professor Dr. George Ideadiel, the Rector of Dharmaram College, to the inauguration of the academic year 2020-21. I extend a hearty welcome to all the deans and directors of DVK, rectors from various seminaries, campus superiors, DVK staff members, invited guests, and students of DVK. I gratefully acknowledge that it is your constant support which is the strength of Dharmaram Vidyakshetram. I invite second year philosophy students for the invocation song.
Spirit of God, come down. Spirit of God, rain down. Spirit of God, come into my life. Spirit of God, rain down. Let your power fall on me. Oh, Spirit of God, fall on me. Spirit, fall on me. Let your power fall on me. Oh, Spirit of God, fall on me. Spirit, fall on me. I pray you rain down, rain down in my life. Oh, rain down. Spirit of God, rain down, rain down in my life. Oh, rain down. Spirit of God, come down. Spirit of God, rain down. Spirit of God, come into my life. Spirit of God, rain down. Let your power fall on me. Oh, Spirit of God, fall on me. Spirit, fall on me. Let your power fall on me. Oh, Spirit of God, fall on me. Spirit, fall on me. I pray you rain down, rain down in my life. Oh, rain down. Spirit of God, rain down, rain down in my life. Oh, rain down. Spirit of God.
Thank you, brothers. May I invite Professor Dr. Kurian Kachappilly, the President of DVK, to deliver the inaugural address.
most cordial welcome. Stay with us, Lord. Mane nobiscum Domini. With the two disciples on the way to Emmaus, I pray, stay with us, Lord. Dear and Reverend Father George Ideadiel, Rector, Dharmaram College, Your Eminence, Graces, Excellencies, Superior Generals, Provincials, Superiors, Guardians, Deans and Directors, Professors and students, and especially the freshers of the DVK. The corona, this is the most often used word in today's time. Our chats and conversations, be it in the family, community, or society, is all about the corona. Our discussions and debates in the social media, be it the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TV or radio, is all about the corona. When we say the word corona, what does it do to you, to me, to us? We get frightened, we become anxious, and we are in great panic. Yes, many people are scared. Many are living in anxiety and fear. In India too, the corona scare is at its highest level. And all-pervading helplessness is experienced even by the most powerful countries and people. Death is sweeping all over the continents. For corona has no boundaries, no religion, no ethnic differences, and no language, culture, or color differences. The tiny coronavirus has thus infused in the minds of Homo Deus, man-God, that we too are vulnerable like any other living organism, and corona, the leveler, may not spare us. In fact, do you know the actual meaning of the word corona? Corona in Latin means the crown. The virus has crown-like spikes on it. Hence, it is called the corona. As you know, the outer layer of the sun is also called the corona, the stellar corona. It has a beautiful golden ring which we can never see because the sun is so bright that we are blinded by its light. But when the sun goes through the solar eclipse, when it goes through its complete darkness, we can see its beautiful stellar corona. So think about it, my friends. We, the humans, are now going through complete darkness. And if we allow ourselves, of course, we can see our true light. We have been so blinded by our fast-paced life that we have no time to stand and stare at the beauty of life and the charms of nature. We have been so blinded by the money power and muscle power that we have lost the sense of truth and justice. We have been so blinded by the strength of our scientific innovations and sophisticated weaponaries that we have no respect for the other. We have been so blinded by the pleasure of our lavish parties and celebrations that we have lost our sensitivity to the poor and the hungry. We have been so blinded by the claims and counterclaims of the religious leaders and fanatic groups that we have lost real faith in God. Yes, my friends, we have been blinded by a world of pompous boasting about our strength, our capacities, and our will to say, yes, I can. But remember, my dear friends, the coronavirus is here, not to make us go through the dark times, but to see the true light. The coronavirus is here, not to make us desperate, but remind us anew the fragile nature of this world order. The coronavirus is here, not to make us socially indifferent, but to teach us what truly matters. And what truly matters today is kindness and love. Today, what we really want is the other, my brother, my sister, with a plea in our hearts, stay with us. Mane nobiscum, stay with us. According to John Moss CSJ, a meditation on the Emmaus event may help us to tide over our own dark nights and see the true light. As the Gospel of Luke narrates, the two disciples were on the way to the village called Emmaus. While they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself went with them, but they did not perceive the presence of their master, as their eyes were holden. Maybe the sun was so sinking, and the setting sun was so dazzling that they did not see their Lord. But I would say, more than the sunset, their eyes were holden due to sorrow, for they witnessed the most horrible scenes of blood and murder which had been enacted in Jerusalem. Their eyes were holden due to unbelief, for they never expected to see the crucified Jesus on the way. They were also holden by ignorance, for they failed to know what is written in the sacred scriptures, that the Messiah must suffer and die. They were also holden by despair, for they hoped that he was the one to redeem Israel. Amid the encircling gloom caused by sorrow, unbelief, doubt, and despair, my friends, they could still plead, Mane nobiscum, stay with us. So he went in to stay with them. The Emmaus event thus rolls out the evolution of the awareness of the two disciples from sorrow to joy, from unbelief to belief, from ignorance to knowledge, and from despair to hope and love. For it is written, their hearts were burning within them while he was talking to them. For it is written, their hearts were burning within them while he was explaining the scriptures to them. For it is written, their eyes were opened while he was breaking the bread with them. Yes, their eyes were opened and they recognized Jesus. The encounter with Jesus filled their whole being with a passion and purpose. And they immediately returned to Jerusalem to share their experience with other disciples. They sensed a must to share the happiness and the good news with others. How true is a Swedish proverb. A joy shared is a joy doubled. A sorrow shared is a sorrow halved. A heart on fire, a heart inflamed with love is the best of all we need today at a time when the pandemic COVID-19 keeps us away, by social distancing through travel restrictions and lockdowns. But don't worry, everything is not locked down. Sun and rain are not locked down. Family, community time is not locked down. Responsibilities are not locked down. Friendship is not locked down. Prayers are not locked down. Creativity is not locked down. And finally, love and hope are not locked down. With a heart inflamed with love, let us reach out to the millions who suffer from the pandemic COVID-19. Even if we are not infected, the crisis is affecting our lives and the loved ones in one way or other. In the words of Simone, humanity is like stones in an arch. The healthier the stones, the healthier the arch. And since we all are part of each other's reality, we too share responsibility for one another. Refusing to act to prevent the spread of the virus makes us responsible for worsening the situation, not just for other people, but for ourselves, because our well-being is necessarily linked to others' well-being. Hence, let the phrases like social distancing, masking, and washing hands become part of our everyday vocabulary, along with our plea, stay with us. As we know, no one does big things by themselves. So, be alive to one another's struggles. Stand up for one another's rights. Leave behind all the old ways of thinking that divide us and set the world on a different path. Thus, you and I will be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Indeed, in order to be part of the solution, we need to think and behave differently. Or, as Steve Jobs put it, think different. In order to solve the challenges we face, we have to cultivate what the Buddhist philosophers call the 6 perfections: generosity, attention, patience, resolution, contemplation, and wisdom. Pro. G, generosity. A, attention. P, patience. R, resolution. O, contemplation. W, wisdom. Pro. Generosity. Generosity to help family, neighbors, and communities that find themselves in need, and thereby alleviate the suffering around us. Attention. Attention to the needs of others, to our own responses to those needs, and to our own states and intentions that may either contribute to or ease suffering. Patience. Patience to reduce our tendency to anger or to despair, enable ourselves to work calmly and respond effectively to the needs around us. Resolution that enables serious effort and ensures that we do not lose hope or heart. In other words, we don't easily give up. Contemplation to gather our thoughts, to fix our resolve, and to remember who we are and to what we are committed. Finally, wisdom, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The development of these perfections enables personal growth while also helping us to address the pandemic COVID-19. It enables us to become better friends to one another, to care for one another, to take the interest of others as our own, and to derive happiness from their happiness as well. In the spirit of sharing and mutual help, DVK is launching online learning program from August 3, 2020 onwards. DVK introduces the online mode of teaching and learning, not because it is better than the presence learning, but the public health emergency arising from the pandemic COVID-19 compels DVK to review and reinvent the lives and activities of the DVK campus. As online learning is first of its kind in the annals of the DVK, there are several questions that are to be answered, sometimes without much conviction or clarity for lack of benchmarks. Questions like, by what means are the courses provided? How are teachers trained in the different teaching modalities? How are exams and thesis defenses carried out? What measures have been taken to mitigate possible hitches related to internet access and computer equipment? How to ensure the formative and pastoral accompaniment of the students of the Pontifical Athenaeum, the DVK. However, trusting in the providence of God and in the wholehearted participation of all the stakeholders of the DVK, the bishops, generals, rectors, superiors, teachers, and students, we begin, and surely we will overcome all obstacles in the process of online learning. First of all, online learning does not imply lowering the quality of ecclesiastical education, for we uphold the vision and conviction of our founding father, Saint Kyriakos Elias Chavra, who said, an uneducated priest is not only inefficient to do anything in his pastoral work, but might even be detrimental to the salvation of souls. Secondly, while engaged in the online learning, we don't forget or ignore the formative and pastoral concerns of the ecclesiastical education. Definitely, we will accompany you, dear scholars and students, and especially my dear freshers, in the best way possible through regular lectures, class notes, assignments, teaching aid like PPT, audio, video clips, etc., and above all, through personal contacts by respective dean or director and animator or teacher. Perhaps this is just one side of the story. The other side is to be told, I think, by the rectors, provincials, and superiors, namely the guardians of the scholars and students of the DVK. In a circular letter to the DVK, the Vice-Chancellor, Very Reverend Dr. Thomas Chathambarambil CMI, writes, there shall be an animator for the students who shall be responsible for the formation and discipline of the students during their stay in the provinces, regions, or wherever they are. Along with the Vice Chancellor, may I appeal to you, dear rectors, provincials, and superiors, to make adequate arrangements to address the formative, spiritual, and pastoral concerns of our scholastics. If we resolve to work together with patience and endurance, we shall surely overcome the challenges posed by the corona. Finally, let us pray in cohesion, Mane nobiscum Domini. Stay with us, Lord, so that we shall learn in the company of Jesus Christ, the Sadguru, the teacher par excellence. Being with Jesus, mid-sign, will inflame our hearts while he explains the scriptures to us, as in the case of the disciples on the way to Emmaus. Being with Jesus will open our eyes while he breaks the bread with us, as in the case of the disciples on the way to Emmaus. Being with Jesus will open our minds so that we will recognize him as our Master and Lord. With an inflamed heart and enlightened mind, we shall hasten to the ends of the earth to proclaim, to share the good news of love and joy, the good news that Jesus is alive and he loves you, he loves me, and he loves us. And surely he will be with us always to the end of the age, as he has promised. I pray, stay with us, Lord. Mane nobiscum Domini. Amen. Before I sign off, may I recall the fond memories of Reverend Father Thomas Kurian, CMI, Professor Emeritus of Dharmaram Vidyakshetram, who was called to eternal life on Wednesday, June 17, 2020 at St. Philomena's Hospital, Bangalore. The funeral ceremony was held on June 18, 2020 at St. Paul's Carmel House, Tandavapura, Karnataka. Father Thomas, my own guru and mentor, was a saintly religious priest and an exemplary teacher who served DVK over 2 decades and captivated the imagination of his colleagues and students by his pedagogy of the heart. May the departed soul rest in peace. Amen.
Thank you, Father President. Professor Dr. Kurian Kachappilly, the President of DVK, Professor Dr. George Diadil, Director of Dharmaram College, Deans and Directors of different faculties and institutes, campus superiors, professors, and the students of DVK. It is my duty and privilege to thank you all for making this inaugural function a memorable event. First of all, let me thank Father Kurian Kachappilly, the President of DVK, and the one who is leading the DVK through his able leadership and administrative skills into new heights. He gives a new vision to DVK. I thank him sincerely for presiding over the Eucharistic celebration and for his inspiring inaugural address. I thank Father George Diadil, the Rector of Dharmaram College, for his challenging homily during the Eucharistic celebration and his unwavering support to DVK. My sincere thanks to the deans, directors, the heads of the institutes and centers, DVK office bearers, the heads and professors of the affiliated institutes, the campus superiors, invited guests, and DVK professors. I should specially thank all who have worked hard for the success of this function. In a special way, I acknowledge the great services rendered by Reverend Fathers Grigory, Pijosh, and Rafi as a team for organizing the online classes and streaming the inaugural session. I remember with gratitude the services rendered by Reverend Father Justin and his team of Christ University for their technical advice and assistance. With a grateful heart, I remember Mr. Jacob and Mr. Baburaj for their hard work and patience in arranging the online classes. Announcements. Today onwards, kindly check your emails regularly and visit the DVK website frequently. For the philosophy students, an online demo class is arranged for all first year philosophy students, which includes MA Philosophy, BPH, Diploma in Philosophy and Certificate in Philosophy, today at 11:30 a.m. You can join the classes by opening the Google Meet link given with the invitation mail. For the IOCL students, IOCL will have an online Lectio Brevis on 4th August at 9:15 a.m. onwards. All the professors and students are requested to attend it without fail. For the Vinay Sadhana students, today at 11:10 a.m. there will be an orientation program for all the students of Vinay Sadhana. The timetable is provided for all the classes. The second year MA students will have a separate digital link, and for the first year MA students and diploma students will have another link to follow. It means the first MA students and diploma students will follow the same classes. Attendance is very important since we have reduced the number of class hours online. Your wholehearted cooperation is specially solicited. Now we conclude the inaugural session with the DVK anthem. Thank you and wish you all a good day. I'm Father Jose Kirakekut, the Registrar of DVK.
जयत्व विद्यक्षेत्र भव भानुभारते नैस्मान् विद्ययामृतम् जयत्व विद्यक्षेत्र भव भानुभारते नैस्मान् विद्ययामृतम् धर्मक्षेत्रत्वमक्षरं परं रक्षितं येसुदेव सम्भवा ईशभक्ति परज्ञानं भासुरं तव वचनभाषणम् तत्त्वदर्शनं विश्वेशचिन्तनं ध्यानोपासनं शोभनं तव जीवनम् जयत्व विद्यक्षेत्र भव भानुभारते नैस्मान् विद्ययामृतम् सर्वधर्ममार्गवेदनं सर्वजनमैत्रिचोदनं पावनं तव सेवनम् पुण्यतीर्थदे वचनानुध्याने परमादर्शो माता मरिया जयत्व विद्यक्षेत्र भव भानुभारते नैस्मान् विद्ययामृतम् जयत्व विद्यक्षेत्र भव भानुभारते